I'm going to give you my top 5.
Top 5 in tennis?
Top 5 in tennis. I didn't even know we were going to talk about tennis.
I wasn't even sure you knew 5 tennis players.
I do. Yeah, I didn't think I did either.
Well, I've just given you 4.
You have. So this is based on nothing other than my mind now and emotion.
Okay.
So I love Andy Murray.
Okay.
Like, I'd love to get him on one day. Please, Andy Murray, come on. He needs. If he brings out a book, he's going to need listeners, isn't he? He's going to need people to.
Can I just say, I'm not here just because of my book. I'm just here for a friendly chat.
Well, this is what it's turned into. It's a conversation.
It's
not even an interview. It's a conversation. So I keep looking at the name Inside F1. I should know that, shouldn't I? Because I'm doing the interview. Conversation. So number 1, Andy Murray. Okay. Just because Andy Murray, Scottish.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Scottish. I love Rafael Nadal. And I kind of put it in there. He had a patellar tendon injury. So did I. In a time in which it was tough to have that injury because there was no kind of cure. Owen Hargreaves, the footballer, had it. Mm-hmm. He had surgery. Rafa didn't. I didn't. And look at us. So we're on a level.
But does he have the big Rafa show? No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
So 1 up to you.
No, yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. Does he follow you on social or not? I see he's not going to see this.
No.
So Andy Murray. I've gone Rafa 2.
Yeah.
Federer, but he could be 1, but I've gone Roger Federer. Love him. I don't know this bloke that well, but I've read bits of his book. Andre Agassi.
Yeah, great book.
Loose as a goose.
Okay.
So
you're bringing him in for different reasons.
So I'm bringing him in.
He was actually a great tennis player as well.
Yeah, but they had them, like, did he play with the wood ones, the wood rackets? No, he didn't. No, that was before. No. That was Boris Becker, who we can't talk about. He seems wild.
We can talk about Boris.
Yeah, I'd have him. Because I want him on because of his story about being in jail and stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool. But I'd have to go number 5. I think
you've mentioned about 6 or 7.
Have I? Right. Let me go 5, and then you can give me 3. So I'm going to go Andy Murray, Rafael Nadal, Federer, Djokovic. I'm going to go, and then Andre Agassi. I didn't really watch Agassi play that much.
Agassi was great when I first started watching tennis and things. That whole Agassi, Sampras,
Sampras as well, Pete Sampras.
Do you know, the BBC office at Wimbledon is hilarious. Things happen in there. I've got a photo on my phone actually. We were doing this thing because quite often there's a World Cup or something around the corner, and for the geniuses at B decided to come up with Coppa Api, which is the Keepy Uppy challenge. And we were trying to get everyone to do it. So I had to go to the practice courts and hi Andy, would you mind doing some keepy uppies on camera? So this is all of a sudden my job for the day. And we'd asked Rafa. And Rafa turned up in the office. And a picture on my phone is John McEnroe watching Rafa Nadal trying to do keepy uppies with a tennis ball, which is just literally fired across the room, obliterated. It's like a piñata's gone off. There's things flying from every direction. And Boris Becker in the room at the same time. And I just looked around, and this is a room where there's boxes of tonics, caramel wafers, and the bin needs to be emptied. It's an absolute tip. Stationery cupboards exploded, all the rest of it. And I'm looking around thinking, Boris Becker, John McEnroe, Rafa Nadal doing keepy uppies. That's quite good.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm going to get into tennis.
Well, you sound like a minimum 5 players.
Well, give me your 3.
Rafa.
Number 1?
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Roger. See, I'm about to be a bit clouded because I've met these people and therefore they've created such an impression in my life. I don't want to leave out Andy. But then I do think an Agassi, really.
Okay.
I think so. Because he was so much of who you follow and support in sport is who was part of your childhood. So like a Michael Schumacher for me. It doesn't mean to say I'm not, I know Alain Prost and, never met Ayrton Senna, but I completely appreciated what they did. But it's so much of what shapes you as a child is what you see.
Yeah.
And then you go back and you look back and all the rest of it when you develop, a sort of interest in something. But for me, I think I just, I loved Agassi. Again, it was he turned up like this, just the hair and the headband, and it was just all a bit cool and unorthodox. He wasn't really playing by the rules in terms of, yes, he was wearing white, but it's not quite what Wimbledon had seen for a while. So, yeah, he stood out for me.
I like Leighton Hewitt as well because he was Australian.
Yes, I've met him a few times. He's very nice.
Yeah. He's got a bit of Heath Ledger about him.
Yeah, he's good friends with Mark Webber.
Is he?
Yeah. Aussies.
You've got such a cool life. Do you feel like that or not?
When I talk about
we were
it-
talking about the amount of travel, and this
Yeah.
isn't about moaning.
No.
I struggle with travel, and it takes the joy out of some of the stuff that I do because, and whether because I'm big, I don't know whether it's the flying, I don't know what it is, but I struggle with the jet lag and all of these things. So I can't 100% enjoy some great opportunities that I have. If you're on the road as much as you are doing these amazing things, like, are you tired?
Well, I do suffer from insomnia, so I have been awake since 3 a.m. and that's in the UK. I think it's just an overhang of everything that happens. But
And you were nervous about coming on here as
I
well.
was really nervous.
Yeah, with all the people that
Exactly.
you interview.
But I don't know. I mean, we do sort of all live our lives by this, that you only have a limited number of heartbeats, so use them wisely. That's how a lot of people in Formula One operate. So between the Six Nations matches, I went to Malaysia to give a 1-hour talk in February. So I literally left a match, flew to Malaysia, spoke for an hour at a conference about how 5G and data has changed the world of Formula One, and then buzzed straight back and then did the next match. That's kind of how I operate. It's not particularly healthy, but I do try and put things in place to keep me healthy. But saying that, I am about to start from next week every day until the 1st of August, every single day. And I am a little bit sort of overwhelmed by the thought of that. They are great things. I'm presenting 3 F1 races and Wimbledon and the preview shows in the week up to Wimbledon. But it is a huge amount of time. And then I take August off, and then September, October, I'll do Rugby World Cup, and then I'll also present 3 Formula One races at the same time. Now that is intense, but you know, I do have to be slightly sensible. I had been asked to go to Singapore to do a 1-hour talk again, and it was a Tuesday between the 2 World Cup matches, so I technically was free, but there comes a time where you just have to be slightly sensible. You will make yourself ill if you carry on like that. So yeah, I think I've got everything in place for the next 5 weeks. It is literally every day. But yeah, I'll just have to fingers crossed and get through it.